e4, c5. The former five-time world champion Vishy Anand played an absolutely brilliant attacking game against the another chess legend Vladimir Kramnik in round 1 of Mainz Championship Duel playoff held in year 2001. I am your host Bison. Anand continues the game with knight to f3 and then Kramnik develops his knight on c6. Then Anand strikes towards the center by playing d4 and after pawn takes, knight takes, then come queen to b6, creating double attack on the knight. This is called Godiva variation. Then Anand placed his knight on b3. Then Kramnik develops his another knight on f6, attacking the e4 pawn. Then Anand also develops his knight on c3, eyeing on f4 pawn. Then comes e6, opening the diagonal for the bishop. Then Anand brings his queen on e2, solidifying the structure as well as supporting the e4 pawn. After this, Kramnik immediately pins the knight by bishop to f4 and then Anand simply unpins it by playing bishop to d2. As well as Anand is also preparing for long castle. Then, then comes castling, black also castled and then a3 attacking the bishop, then bishop moves back on e7 square and then Anand castled long side. Everything was fine till here, but here Kramnik continued with d6, stopping the move e5, but this move is a mistake because it blocks the route of active bishop. Instead of this, the better move is to play d5. And suppose if white tries to attack the knight by playing e5, then simply knight to d7 and after bishop to e3 attacking the queen, then simply queen can move on d8 square and you can see that in next move black will brings his bishop on g5 which will attack the queen and the game will be completely equal. But after the move d6, Anand strikes towards the king side by playing g4. He is preparing for g5 later. Then a6 by Kramnik, stopping the knight b5 move. Then Anand pushes the pawn further, attacking the knight. And after knight moves on d7, then comes h4, supporting the g pawn as well as preparing to push the pawn further to attack the black king. Kramnik continues with queen to c7. Clearly, the intentions are to play b5 next and then b4, attacking towards the queen side. But Anand is a daring player. He strikes with the move f4, preparing for f5 later. Kramnik also launched the attack towards the queen side by playing b5. Then Anand moves his king to b1 square. Maybe he wants to open the c1 square for the bishop so that rooks get an open d file. Then Kramnik plays b4 attacking the knight and after a takes b4, knight takes b4, then Vishy goes in by playing f5 attacking towards the black pawn chain. But instead of capturing f1 pawn, this pawn, he placed his rook on b file and now Anand can play this crushing move which is f6 attacking the bishop and if he captured the pawn then after g takes f6 you can see that black king is completely opened and in next move white will bring his queen and the rook into the game. Suppose if black captured the pawn by the knight then comes bishop to h6 attacking the rook and simply black can't defend it due to checkmate threat and hence the only move is to move the king on h8 and then after bishop takes f8 then black will be a rook down and white is completely winning. Hence, but here after the move rook to b8, Anand missed this and he played bishop to f4. But this is also a fine move because this pins the d6 pawn and then Kramnik grabs the f pawn. After capturing, He brings his knight on e5, attacking the f pawn, and Anand defends it by the bishop to h3. But here it's better for white to play f6 because this will open the g file for the rook. Hence, after this, Kramnik placed his rook on e8 square, bringing the rook into the game as well as opening the f8 square for the bishop. And then Anand pushes his g pawn further, attacking towards the black pawn chain. And after h takes g6, then Anand removes the active knight from the game by bishop takes e5, a good move because after capturing back and after capturing the pawn, then comes h5 and black can't capture the h pawn because this will activate the queen. So the only best move for black will be to continue the game with g5 because suppose if game continues, then white can play h6 attacking the pawn, and after bishop takes h3, rook takes h3, g6 black can play, and after rook to e3 which attacks the e5 pawn, then comes rook at e goes to d8, simply asking for rook exchange, and after capturing the pawn, and then black can trade the rook, and after knight takes d1, and white is still better, but this can be holdable for black. Hence, after the move bishop to f5, Kramnik h5, Kramnik blunders and he played bishop to f5. But now simply white captured the g6 pawn, which opened the h file for the rook. So here bishop f5 is a blunder because here his intentions are to guard the c6 pawn, but this is of no use because now Anand simply captured on g6, which opened the h file for the rook, and black can't capture the g6 pawn because white gives a check from the bishop first, and then black will be completely lost. Hence he captured the bishop, but this is of no use because Anand simply grabs the bishop back, and you can see that the intentions of white are clear. He wants to play queen h5 next and then queen h8. Hence, to defend this, Kramnik placed his bishop on g5 and then bishop to h6, blocking the h file. But this is of no use because Anand played knight to e4, which attacks the bishop, and after bishop moves on f4, the final move by Vishy Anand is knight at b goes to c5. And from this position, Kramnik resigned because white is now creating multiple threats such as queen to c5 check and then rook to h8. What an amazing game by Vishy Anand. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more content. I am your host Bison signing off. Bye bye.